shot. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Today, look at me. I can be center field. This is an interesting one. This is going to be by far the most subjective list. This is a list. The other times, if you disagree with me, I'm sorry to say, but you are wrong. On every other list that I have done, that list is infallible. But on this list, if you disagree with me, that's completely fine. That is completely justified. This is nonsense.
What's happening, party people? Welcome to Punchboard Party. My name is Daniel. This is Father Greg, and he is drinking his water. And we are talking about our top 10 board game box covers. Mm-hmm. So this is just, we are totally judging a book by its cover here. Yep. We're just looking at these board game covers and we are saying like, wow, that is a gorgeous box cover. Or maybe we're saying like, that draws me in to want to buy this game. Like if I'm going through a board game store, I see this on the shelf. It just has an allure, has a factor. Or like, this box tells me exactly what this game is all about. Right. You know, something in there, just like however we want to define best. Mm-hmm. We're talking about the best board game covers. So this list is pretty zany, pretty subjective, as Father Greg was mentioning. We're just going to go through these, and we're going to hope that you engage us down in the comments below, and you let us know what board game covers you think are just gorgeous, amazing, awesome, clear, whatever you kind of gravitate towards when you're looking at board games, whatever attracts you to a board game box cover. Mm-hmm. Let us know in the comments down below. Father Greg, why don't you start us off with this super objective list?
Yes, super objective. So, what I wanted a board game cover, like, I want a board game cover that tells me what's in the box. You know, I look at Euphoria, I have no idea what that game entails. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what kind of game this is. Nothing about it. So, like, a board game box that just, like, shows me what I'm doing, I like that. So, my number 10 is Unfair. It's got a picture of, like, a roller coaster on it. And that's what you're doing. You're building a theme park. It's abundantly clear. Just like you look at the box cover, it's clear. Also, the expansion boxes for this game, if you like put them beside the box, they form like a wider like panorama. Okay, nice. It's just like a nice little thing, you know. So if you get a bunch of expansions together, you know, now you have this like nice, like, you know, scenery that sort of.
It's a box cover with that you can accessorize.
That's right. That's right.
Nice. No, that's a really good box cover too, because then the title of the game itself and the lightning in the background kind of adds this extra like, ooh, like yeah, we're building a theme park. Right. But there's going to be trouble on the horizon. It's not going to go smooth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I can give you that one. My number 10 is a game very similar in that regard, where you look at it and you know exactly what you're doing. This is Aeon's End. And this has this giant creature, like this devil-looking creature. Yeah. And it has 4, like, fantasy companions that are kind of like running towards the creature. Right. So you like right off the bat, you know, like, okay, we are fighting together against this evil enemy. Like we are kind of like, this is like boss battle from Final Fantasy game, the board game. Like you know exactly what you're getting. And there's like action on the cover. You're like, you feel yourself just drawn right into the action. You're just, I want to do this. I want to get this done. I want to fight this bad guy. Put me in, coach.
I'm ready to play today.
That's right. So that's what I feel about Aeon's End. It really just captures the feel of the whole thing.
Cool. Most of these games I have played. I think just looking at the list, I mean, I started looking at like the board game top 100, but the reality is like, yeah, if I'm walking through and I see an ugly board game cover, I probably just don't play it. Right. But if I see something that's really attractive, I'm like, maybe I should take this home. But this is one game that I've never played. Don't really have a desire to play, but I do really like the board game covers. I do like more simplistic kind of designs. I like generally less busy covers. This is Food Chain Magnate.
Oh!
It's just got like that really nice kind of just like 50s diner, which is like what it's trying to be. Yeah. Right? It really buys into the whole theme of the game is like present on that box cover. It's very simple. There's nothing going on. But like I look at it, I'm like, I want to run a 50s diner. Like I don't want to play this game, but like the board the cover kind of makes me want to.
Right. Well, there's a couple of games on my list that are like this. That the cover is great. Like the cover is gorgeous. Really draws me in. If I picked up this box and I saw 30 to 60 minutes on the box, I would be like, yes, let's do it. But when I pick up the box and it's like 180 to 220 minutes or whatever, and I'm like, okay, it looked cool, but no, thank you. So that's why I feel like a Vital Lacerda game.
Right.
It's like some of those boxes are beautiful. My next board game, this is a board game that's new to my collection, so it's just like very much in my memory. I'm really enjoying this right now. This is Reavers of Midgard. And so Reavers of Midgard has just this awesome, like picturesque, almost a painting as a box cover. And the art style is it very much feels like it was sort of like hand painted. And you just got these Vikings on this ship in a big sail, striped sail, and they're like on the helm of the ship, and they're, there's people like cascading from an island into the water, and like there's just like stuff happening, but it looks very sort of picturesque. Somehow it's sort of combined a serenity with kind of the veracity of Viking conquering and this kind of thing. So I just really like the box cover. It immediately makes me want to play the game. And I am subsequently glad that I did play the game. I'm really enjoying this game. Only played it once so far, but it's quite good.
My next up is a game. It was a review that we did early on. It just has a really, really interesting art style, and it comes through really nicely on the box. And that's Radlands.
Radlands!
So once again, just a very simplistic kind of box design. Just like Radlands with like an obvious kind of like apocalyptic Mad Max kind of silhouette on the front. And that's it. I like that in a game. I like a game that just has a clean, nice cover, but like that shows me, like in its graphic style, what kind of game this is. I don't know anything about the game by looking at the box. I would never know what sort of game this is. I don't know if it's like a card battler. I don't know if it's a majority, area control. I don't know anything about it, but like immediately kind of draws me in to at least look at the back.
Well, and you do get the theme right off the bat. You know exactly what the theme of this is.
That's right.
You get the 80s vibes. You get the Mad Max vibes.
That's right.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair.
So yeah.
Okay, my next game. This is a game that I owned for a while in an older edition. Didn't really love the box cover of that edition, but the newest edition of this game, I really love the style. And this is Alien Frontiers. So Alien Frontiers, the newest edition, I think it's like the 5th edition or something. They've had lots of editions of this game. But it really looks like kind of a 1950s sci-fi book cover is kind of what this looks like. It has these astronauts looking out this window, and their space get-up suits look very much like sort of a little Buck Rogers-y or something.
Okay, yeah.
And they're looking out, and there's a little bit of a bubble city on a planet. They're terraforming something. There's like a ship that's kind of zooming out of view. It just kind of has this nice, like, the whole frontier is in front of these people. They have just a whole landscape. And this is one where more than anything, the juxtaposition of the colors that are used on the box cover. There's like a really nice orange and a blue kind of around the perimeter of the box, and the planet in the picture is orange, like a nice bright orange. And it's just a really good, like, it just feels good to look at. It just has like a nice... So this is one where it's less about what's actually on it, where it's cool. It just kind of looks kind of like a pulp science fiction novel cover. But the colors they use really make this pop, and I'm always like, ooh. But like, because I've owned the game before, I'm slow to pull the trigger.
So my next up from the same publisher, this is Brass.
Okay.
And specifically, I think I prefer Brass Lancashire's board. They're both really good.
But Birmingham has that beautiful...
That little puddle with like the reflection of the little girl in it.
Yes.
Like, this is like a piece of art. It tells you... I guess you could imagine from there that you're in industrial England. Like, maybe you could... Like, it's got a kind of a cobblestone street. And yes, there's like a puddle of water with like a girl who looks like she's sad. So, like, you could reasonably examine this must be, Victorian England. But yeah, like, just the overall kind of like... feel like whenever I pull like either one of those off, I'm just like, this is a nice box cover. Like, and that translates through to a lot of the art in the game as well. But it just starts like every time I pull this game out, like even I've had like other people come up to my place and like they just like pull this game off. It's like, oh, what's this? I'm like, no, we're not playing that. Like they're like new to board gaming, and I'm like, no, just put that one back. But I grant you, the board game.
But it draws them in.
That's right.
Yeah, I thought about putting this one on my list.
Okay.
The Brass Birmingham specifically.
Okay.
I think is a beautiful.
They're both, yeah. They're both good.
Okay, my next one, staying in the science fiction genre, Quantum. Quantum, the box cover, totally dupes you about what this game is. Like, you would never know.
I don't even know if I know what the box cover of this is.
So like when Quantum is basically just a game where there's tiles and there's dice, and you roll dice and you place the dice on the tiles for different majority scoring, and your dice like act as spaceships and they shoot they have defense based on the pips that are on them, and anyway, it's just like abstract really. But the box cover looks like your kind of 80s movie poster from like either Star Wars or Indiana Jones or Goonies, like that kind of art style. But then it's a very like space opera kind of presentation. You have like a big like space freighter ship. You have like a probe, a robot kind of orb thing. You have like the different characters kind of looking off into the distance. It just looks epic. Like this board game box looks like you should be opening up again one of those kind of campaign style narrative driven like ISS Vanguard, that kind of thing. But you're not. And it's fine. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful box cover. I love this box cover. I think it's just great. Wish there was a different game in it, but great. I don't not like Quantum. It just feels a little out of place.
My next game is a game called Petrichor. And this is, Cloud Island initially published this. And all it is like a white box with like a raindrop on it. But it's like a beautiful raindrop. It's like just like a raindrop with like nice, like kind of like that kind of gloss on it, like kind of texture, and it's sort of like reflective.
You're going pretty like artsy on me.
Yeah, like that's what I like. Like I don't. You've chosen a lot of like covers that I like. There's a lot going on. Right? There's a lot going on, like that Alien Frontiers cover and stuff like that. I like when I look at those. I'm just like, what is going on here? This is what is this? But then I like pull off this box and I'm like, huh, a game about raindrops, huh? All right, I'm in. Like, and initially,
he's a simple man.
That's right. Initially, I want to like flip over the box, and you know that's what the back cover's for. The back cover is going to tell me what the game's about, right? The back cover is going to like show me maybe the board, or you know, kind of give me some idea of what I'm doing. But like that front cover, I just want it to be something that kind of. I was kind of looking, I go, like, what the heck is that?
There's been some really disappointing moments where I picked up a board game based on the cover,
right?
Flipped it around.
Right.
Just awful looking.
Yes. That is most definitely true, for sure.
Okay, my number 6 best board game cover of all time, objectively. Abyss.
Yes,
and I don't need to tell you why.
Right.
This is awesome.
Right.
Like, whoever's idea it was to just like not put the title of the game on the front box and just to have this ugly face staring at you.
Just a big blue. And then there's like there's versions.
They did a box cover for each of the races that are in the game.
Okay.
But again, it's just a big old face.
It's a big old face. No title. No like.
But I love how like the normal retail edition is like the ugliest of the faces.
That's right.
Like, so
big blue wrinkly face.
So funny. I'm like, yes. People like.
You're right. That is a good box cover. I forgot to put that one on my list, but you're right. That is that's something. That's like a game that draws me in because I'm pulling off the shelf and I'm going to look at it just because I'm like, what the hell is this? There's what is this? Is this a game? Like what? Is this what? I don't understand. There's not even a name on this box.
That's right.
What's going on?
Yeah,
that's cool. My next game is has a bit of a kind of more like violent kind of art style to it. This is kind of I've chosen unfair, different things that have kind of cartoony artwork, but this is kind of the opposite of that, and that's Vengeance.
Okay, I was thinking about Vengeance, but I figured it might make your list.
So. Yeah, Vengeance. On the front cover, there's like a bunch of guys with like tattoos and like weapons, machetes and stuff like that, and then there's one guy charging at him wielding like a golf club.
It's like a driver.
That's right. He's just like got a driver and he's running at them top speed. Yeah. And there's like 8 of them on the other side, and they're just waiting for him. It's like, and the rest of the box is just white. It's like the one guy's in one corner, the bad guys are on the other corner, but you could just imagine them coming together. Right. And yeah, it's just a great looking box cover, and it accurately describes what's in the box. You're going after guys with a driver. just a big golf club.
That's exactly what you're doing. So good. My 5th best board game cover. This is Heat Pedal to the Metal.
Wow.
A cover that is way better than the game that's in it. I think this game is incredibly overrated. I'm keeping it because people seem to like it.
Yeah,
and I enjoy it. And I enjoy playing it, but it's like, this skyrocketed up the rankings. And I'm like, oh, there's problems, guys. But this cover tells you exactly what you're getting. And this is Vincent Dutray. He's amazing.
Right.
And so you just look at this cover, and it's like there's sparks flying off the wheels. The car's just like, again, one of those games where you're just in it. Like, you know exactly what's up. And it gives you, like, the cheat code to the feeling you're supposed to feel when you play this game. Love that box cover.
Cool. Nice. That is a visit trait. So next game on my list, this is a game I've told you about previously. I went and bought this cover, and when I brought it to the person at the desk, they were like, wow, this game is beautiful. And that is Merv.
Merv. That's a good one.
It just has, like, once again, like Dominion, for example, you can't even read the name, right? Dominion, there's like the D and the O and the M are like all swished together. This is like, it just says Merv. It's very easy to read, but it's got like a lot of crazy like kaleidoscope colors. It's got greens and purples and pinks and yellows like just coming off. It's very loud. And then there's just like this little like white silhouette of like a little camel just kind of like moving along the horizon. And yeah, it's just a really kind of classy looking game. And yeah, I didn't know, basically, this is an example of a game that I went into a board game store, knew next to nothing about the game. I'd heard one reviewer talk about it, couldn't remember anything he said about it other than he liked it. I looked at it, I was like, looks good. Yeah. And I just picked it up because...
And this, I find, is a game cover that really sort of gives you a good indication of the game that's inside, even by being sort of simplistic and artistic.
Right.
It sort of gives you the feel of kind of the weight and the kind of, like this is a more serious game. And,
right.
Yeah, but in a good way. That's a great one. Okay, my number 4, this is Eldritch Horror.
Whoa.
This is probably the box cover that I haven't played Eldritch Horror. I've played Arkham Horror 3rd Edition, but I've always wanted to play Eldritch Horror because of this box cover. This award goes to like the box cover that communicates the most fun. Like, you're gonna have an adventure if you open up this box. Right. You're gonna stand on top of a train with a Tommy gun shooting a tentacled monster. There's gonna be a pretty girl with you. She's probably going to be shooting off a handgun too or something. There's going to be a conductor who'll be useless underneath you. I just love the story that this box cover tells. I think it's fantastic. I think it is hilarious. I'm all about it. And like the fact that it too just indicates, hey, like you're in a place with palm trees. Like you're in a more like deserty, pyramid-y place.
Right.
Like, this is sort of Indiana Jones Cthulhu. Like you just get that right from the cover.
Right. Yeah. Well, you can go all around the world in that game. But,
yeah.
But yeah, get ready for 3 hours of slog and fun. My number 3 is a game that I think initially I probably didn't. I kind of looked at the art and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then like I discovered that that the art was like a kind of like a famous, like they hired like a real famous sort of like artist to do it and to paint like a very specific style, and it really grew on me. And they subsequently published a second version of this game, which is not nearly as nice, and that's Inish.
Oh, okay.
So Inish, the newest edition has like, I don't know, it's kind of dark and whatever, but it's like the first edition had just these like, I don't know what you call it, pointillism, like a bunch of just little dots that kind of form like an image.
Oh,
like it's not like, clean lines. It's just like a bunch of kind of like dots all over the place. But it's like this very kind of Celtic artwork.
Yeah,
it kind of like really leads you into that kind of that feel of what Inish is meant to portray. So yeah, that box cover just has grown on me a lot over the past couple years. The first time I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay. But the more I look at it, I'm like, this is nice.
It's going to be hard to find a picture of that one because like BGG like updates the newest edition of the...
Yeah, I'm sure you... I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'll find it.
But yeah.
Okay, my number 3. This is a no-brainer. Everdell. This is just so good, man. This is like... You're just stepping into the world of Beatrix Potter.
Right.
Or like whatever. Like, you want to live here. I want to live here. I want to live in Everdell.
That's right.
I don't care. I don't care if you have to shrink me, turn me into a little mouse. I'm there, man. so peaceful looking, so homey, cozy. You just want to put on the fire in the fireplace and play this game.
That's right.
It's such a good job.
It is a beautiful scene. It's like you got like some trees and like they kind of open up to this nice yellow vista, and there's
like a wisdom to this badger or whatever it is.
That's right.
He knows something. He is wisdom incarnate. He is
going on
sage
a journey.
Wisdom incarnate.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, love this one. In fact, I love it so much. It's my number 2.
Yeah, I knew we'd have a crossover.
Yeah, no, Everdell is like I say, the whole art in this game is beautiful, but that shines through right on the front cover. Andrew Bosley, beautiful job.
All right, my number 2. I don't know if you would know this one or not. This is Vindication.
Yep.
So Vindication, again, this is a portrait that I could just put on my wall and just have there. Like, this is like a beautiful landscape painting, and like it has this sort of like futuristic landscape that looks kind of run down. Like it's sort of like maybe not quite post-apocalyptic, but like we developed technologies that then sort of backfired in some way, and so now there's just these like ruins of these big like warp circles or something. I don't really know anything about this game. I've never played it. But it just looks beautiful. You have this figure of a person kind of looking out this landscape. Kind of gives you like a Horizon Zero Dawn type feel, like the video game feel of just, again, the world is before you. There's these kind of ancient technologies to try and figure out and understand and see if they'll reawaken them or something. It just, I love fantasy and science fiction. And so this just kind of draws me into that kind of a world.
That's cool. And this game is on like my wanna playlist, and I think largely because of the board game cover. Yeah. Just looked at the cover, I was like, that looks good. Super
duper.
All right. My number 1 game is a game that I know that you don't like, but it just has such a warm cover. This is the one. Normally I like a lot of simplistic covers. This one's a little bit busier. And I just love it. This is Taverns of Teeth and Thal.
Oh, come on.
This is like when
this gets your number 1.
When I pull
I love this artist. I love this man. But this is not his best work by far.
When I pull this off, I see this beautiful. Like, this is a pub that I would gladly spend the rest of my life in. This is just like
you have a problem if that's the case.
Oh, do I ever? This is delightful. This is like a pub meets like a church. It's like got like stained glass windows, and you like pull open the door, and it's just glowing with like beautiful like homey light.
The warm light very well.
Like coming out from inside it, and I just like.
Well, why was I originally drawn to it? But like this game has been on so many people I love's call list. It's hilarious. Like everyone's getting rid of this game.
Oh man, just this board game cover. Every time like this is a game. This is like say another example of. I'm going through the store. I see this. It's just like, I'm just gonna buy this.
Right. Brother Greg, my number 1. You had Food Chain Magnate. I have Twilight Imperium 4th edition. This box cover. What is this?
You like just a big lion face, huh?
Oh,
just all in on the big lion face.
My wildest dreams come true. An anthropomorphic lion. Just take me to church. Holy Toledo, man. Like, this just screams, like, epic. You look at this. I remember the first time. It wasn't 4th edition, but, like, it was probably their 2nd or 3rd edition was out when I first started getting into the hobby. And this was a box that had to be, like, kept on board game shelves, like, board game store shelves, on top of everything. Like, there was no room on a shelf for this.
Yes.
And so it was just on top and just, like, looming over you. And you would look up and you'd be like, what is that? I need that. And people would be like, I mean, if you want to spend 8 hours playing a board game, sure. And it was like, never mind. But like, still, this is art. Like, countless times I've considered buying this game, knowing I will never, ever play it, so it can just sit on top of my board game shelf.
Someday.
Yeah.
Someday we're going to make it happen.
We're going to finish that list.
Someday, baby.
All right, party people. Those are our top 10 board game box covers. Let us know if you liked our picks. And what are your picks? Let us know down below. Art is incredibly subjective. We realize this. But these are the 20 best board game covers. Hands down. Objectively. Can't even tell us any differently.
No,
but you can try down below. So again, party people, if you like this video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, do all the YouTube-y kind of things. We really appreciate it. And until next time, party people.
Have the best day.